Brother Bedford, nobody messes with the monkey when he's riding on the back of lions. Brother Bedford, nobody. So I want you to think about my profile. When people think of me with George Frazier, Les Brown, Dennis Kemper, what happened to my status?
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everybody. How's everybody doing this lovely evening? How you doing, Dr. T?
I'm doing well, see, and how are you?
I can't complain. It won't do no good, but I can't complain.
Yeah.
Welcome to Real Talk,
Living life.
Unbroken Radio Show. I pray everybody's had a blessed week, and today is Friday. We call it our happy hour, our hour of laughter, joy, encouragement, empowering, all of those things that are tools to build our kingdom. And so we're back on another Friday evening, and pray everyone has had a blessed week thus far. And just excited about another opportunity to share.
Yeah, absolutely we are. We are so excited. We have two guests on this evening. Our first guest is Miss Trudy Doman, and she is an author, and I will just share with you her bio, introduce her, and we will have her come on the show.
All right.
Anything you want to say before she joins us?
Well, before she joins, I think in between we're still going to make sure everyone stays in the flow as we continue with our love languages. And feel free to contact us and share if any of those nuggets has benefited you all, or if you have some suggestions for us, how to encourage and strengthen one another, because a team effort is not just what we do, but we're just sharing what works for us. So I hope everybody is working on showing love, expressing love, and making your spouse feel that they are number one in your life. And we're just going to continue to grow more and more.
Absolutely. Yes, we are excited about our love languages that we're sharing with everyone. And if you would like to discuss some love languages or talk about other topics, feel free to inbox us and or send us an email, livingunbroken@gmail.com. We will be happy to share your input. Again, it's livingunbroken@gmail.com. Anything else, dear?
That's it.
All right. Well, let me introduce our first guest. Our first guest is Trudy Doman. In spring of 2010, Trudy was blessed to publish her first book, Rejoice, Wonderful Women, It's Wednesday. This book is now available on Amazon. Hello, everyone. Trudy here. I know bios are important because we live in a need-to-know world. But if I could share something from my heart, if it had not been for God pushing me, pulling me, calling me out, and shutting me down as needed, I would never have been able to survive to tell my story. If you are feeling like you are in a stuck place, run. Do not walk to your prayer closet and begin to talk to your Father. He has some great news for you. Listen to his voice. Say yes. Don't give in to that nagging whisper that tells you you're not enough. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Surviving your story gives you reason. Saying yes to God or the one who is the one who loves you first and loves you best to give you purpose. I did not read all of her bio because I felt like this was meaningful to those that can reach out and can feel amused and can tap into Rejoice Wonderful Women. It's Wednesday. Please, please, please receive our first author for the evening, Miss Trudy Doman.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the studio. I knew you were coming in giggling. I knew it. I knew it.
What can I say? I'm that annoying person. 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm happy. 9 o'clock at night, I'm happy. Why? Because I have the joy of the Lord. I don't care. I've had a week. I really have had a week. And I got a story about that week. But I don't care. You know why? Because I've got joy. I've got peace. Not happiness, joy, and peace. Because I know who's on my side and who's fighting for me.
Absolutely. That makes such a big difference. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, how are you today, Ms. Dillman?
I'll behave. I'm fine. I really am. I'm doing great.
Good. Yeah, I would like for you to share with our listeners on this evening, how did you get the topic of your book?
I was working, excuse me, in Frederick back in 2000, and I came to work one morning, and we were all, you know how you do early in the morning, good morning, how you doing, and then we settled down, and we were working, and then all of a sudden you start hearing this tit for tat, between two ladies that had previously identified to me that they were children of God, they were women of God, they were strong believers. And the tit for tat escalated and escalated until F-bombs were dropping, name calling, just craziness. And
Wow.
it got so volatile. I actually was looking around my cube like, okay, either I got to get under my desk, I got to do something. And I went to the bathroom and I said, Lord, I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know what's going on with these ladies, but you've got to step in. Neither one of them can do without their job. Both of them need their job. Settle it down, Lord. So I came back out of the bathroom, and it was like it had never happened. Everybody was back working. Now, mind you, we only worked where my desk was and where their desk was literally feet away from two managers' offices. So it wasn't like they could act like to hide this from them. They had to hear it. So I'm creeping along, and they had glass windows. You could see, we could see them, they could see us. So I'm like, okay, why are they not? Did I just imagine all of that? And I sat at my desk and I said, Lord, what just happened? And clearly in my spirit, I heard him say, they forgot who they are. They just simply forgot. The stress has gotten to them. They forgot who they are. And I want you to begin to write an encouragement, include them in it, to remind them of who they are. And I went, what? You want what, Lord? Because I hadn't been on the team that long. First of all, to mind someone else's business that way. And after the way they had just spoken to each other, I didn't want an afternoon of that from both of them. And, of course, you know how we do when we hear instructions, when we get instructions. We try to bargain. We try to rationalize. We try to do all of those things. We even say, Lord, I think you got the wrong inbox. It isn't me. So after arguing with him for a while, I finally did it. It's like, I don't know what to say. He said, don't worry about that. And so and it was a Wednesday that this happened, and that's how it was birthed, and that's how the name came about, and it began as a weekly email, and the list grew and grew and grew until it just grew from there. Every step of the way, it has been God guiding me.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I enjoyed that. So, tell me about your book. Tell us about your book.
Same deal. It's my first book. I am working on a second book, and and it'll be a completely different concept than the first book. The first book is a compilation of all of the Wonderful Women Wednesdays that I had written in over a few years span. And every day, some people are trying to read it like a book, they're waiting for the plot, they're waiting for the character development, but really it is each page you should savor either on a daily basis or one Wednesday, one time during the week. Read a page, digest it, think about it. Some people have told me that, I've made them very mad in the first couple of pages because I just jumped right in there talking to them. Others have shared that finally there it was in print. That's how I feel. I can say it out loud, and now I can deal with it. So wherever you are in life, my goal was that it spoke to you. And it is geared toward women, but there are some magnificent men out there who have purchased the book or are even on the distribution list for the Wonderful Women Wednesdays, and they enjoy it too. They get something out of it too.
That's good, Dave. I was about to ask if that's something where a man can relate from it as well. So even though that's the title, we as men can relate to some of the stories that you've written.
Well, I'll ask you a question. Do you ever have days where you're frustrated and you just feel like you've done everything right and the world says, no, you haven't?
Absolutely.
Do you have things in your past that sometimes flare up and cause you to not move forward the way God would have you to?
Yep.
Do you ever experience guilt?
Yeah, all the above.
Then you can be a magnificent man with the Wonderful Women Wednesdays.
It's good to know because, the title sometimes will straight men away because of the title, but knowing that we can get something out of it can draw us closer to understanding all of those issues that everybody faces on a daily basis. I mean, it's just a thing of to be real with yourself and transparent with yourself in order to move forward.
Absolutely. That's key. Being transparent with who you are. That's key. That's good.
If you can't tell yourself the truth, then
who can you tell?
Who else? How are you going to help somebody else? Exactly. And you know the ugly truth about yourself, and that's the other thing that I always try to encourage women. I always try to get that point across in the encouragements that I write. Sure, you had a dark past. Sure, you made some mistakes. Sure, things didn't always go right. But you're here today because of those things. You survived those things for a reason. Look at it, find the God in it, find what did God want you to get out of it, and then move away from that thing. Don't let that thing be the albatross around your neck weighing you down. Straighten yourself up, move on. If you've truly repented, God has truly forgiven you. And you don't have to keep rehearsing it. And you don't have to make it your excuse why you can't move forward.
That's good. That's good. So your book that you are writing now, is it the same type of encouragement, like devotional kind of book, or is it another something different?
It's different, but there will be some of the Wonderful Woman Wednesdays are ones that I've written and there are some new ones in there, and there will be some challenges in there. It's really the concept is for this book is completely different than the first book, which, by the way, everyone, my first book is still available on Amazon.com. Trudy Dolman. If you look up my name, it brings up the book, and I do believe they made it available for Kindle for those that want to have it on Kindle, or if they want to get a paperback. And I don't think it's available in a hard copy or hardback. I chose against that one. I wanted to make it easy, for you to take it with you everywhere you went. So it is still available. And the second book, it's going to be a merging of three different types of a concept for the end user, and it will be user friendly.
Okay.
Good. And when will it be coming out? When should we be expecting that?
I'm still writing it, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Good. So it's in the process. Good.
Mm-hmm. It is in the process.
So with this book, would you say the book is who you are, meaning that on a daily basis that you can go and encounter someone and be able to encourage them just in that conversation, or is this something where it's better or easier for you to write out?
He's taking me out of my comfort zone. He's taking me out of my comfort zone. I find myself, I attract people, and it's a good thing. And I attract them at all stages of life. They tell me all kinds of things. It's not just an in-church thing that I do this. I could be standing in the grocery store, and people will just start talking to me, and we'll talk, and I find myself encouraging them. I find myself at work encouraging people. Sometimes it's as simple as, "Hey, Tracy, that's a beautiful dress you have on today. Girl, you don't know how much I needed that."
Absolutely.
Or it could be something as serious as grabbing them, hugging them, and praying with them right at that moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I'm
sometimes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Sometimes I'm a midwife. What are you doing? What are you doing this week to work towards your vision? How much have you written this week? What did you do? Did you call the bank to find out about what it takes to start that business? I find myself in that position a lot too.
Okay. With that, what I was about to say, it's amazing that the best time I'm learning more and more of witnessing is on neutral ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about being in the building of the church, but church being in you, and wherever you find it feasible or possible to share with someone, that's the best place to do it. Because unfortunately, the building, the church, scares people. So why not show what God created was He shows love. So just us in our responses, in our character of who we are, just communicating, just like you said you do, the grocery store, checkout line, even if somebody complains about the line too long, you can just shift the mindset and just say something silly and be like, yeah. So it's really amazing how God is taking us out of our comfort zone, but at the same time, we're still doing His kingdom work.
Exactly.
I like what you said, that you are a midwife for people, you're encouraging people, you're there. So I'm going to flip it and ask, do you have that same person to push you to do the next thing, to ensure that you're getting what you need to continue to move on? Because giving, and not being replenished sometimes drain us. So we forget facilitator to ensure that we're going in the right direction. So we'll know, okay, God, I hear you, and I want to be sure that this book is out. And because I know you personally, I know that there are several books that need to be coming out. I want to ensure that you're on the right guidelines to say, okay, I may have procrastinated in the beginning, but I can't do it any longer because I have goals that I have to accomplish.
One of the things that I do talk about a lot in Wonderful Woman Wednesday, whether it's in the book or on the website or the Thinking Out Loud section of the website, I do talk about making sure that you take time for you. That's one of the requirements to be part of the Wonderful Women Wednesday celebration, and that is that you take time to think about one good thing about yourself, at least one good thing. Celebrate that one good thing. And then celebrate with God. Celebrate your Father who gave you that one good thing. So, I still have some ladies that when I say, give me something good about you, they'll say things like, well, this lipstick really looks good on me. Okay, let's celebrate that. But as they get more comfortable with it, and as they get more comfortable with the idea of celebrating themselves and doing something nice to or for themselves, then they begin to say, you know what? I survived homelessness because I got serious about my finances. And today I am on the finance team, or I'm in HR at work, or I have a group of women that I mentor and, getting them on a savings plan. I went from this place to that, but I'm really good at that. Or you might hear women say, the best thing that I ever did was to go back to school. I finally got the courage to go back to school. Whatever their dream or their vision is, I encourage women to do the same thing. Personally, yes, I had to learn how to do that because I am a giver, and I realized that I made myself too available to other people, and it was taking me away from some of the things that I needed to do. So I've gotten much better at taking just a few minutes for myself. People think that when you take time for yourself, A, you're being selfish, and B, that somehow you are failing as a woman in certain areas because you're not serving your family, you're not serving your husband, you're not serving your church. But truthfully, like you said, if you don't take time to replenish yourself, you don't have anything to give anybody after a while. So I've gotten very good at, and I encourage women, even if it's just a 15-minute walk once a week by yourself, even if it's just to read a few pages of a book that you're trying to read, or small things. It doesn't have to be going to the spa or scheduling a girls' weekend. I mean, those things are great. But most of us have a hard time finding that time. But we all have 15 minutes that we can do something nice.
It's needed, and it's key, and it's important as you continue to minister out to other people that you continue to take the time for yourself so that you can hear from the Lord, so that you're able to get out everything that the Lord is putting in you. It's needed. It's needed. And it's not selfishness. It's not taking away from the family, your husband, your children. It's actually giving them more than what they expected.
And once women get that concept and once they become comfortable with it, then they they're freer. I'll use the word free. They become more free to be able to do those things for themselves. I work in the education field, and I work with students who sometimes get a little off track, in their studies. And one of the things that I help them do is I help them identify small pockets of time that they can study because they can't seem to find that 2-hour block that we've all been traditionally told we need per class. And one of the things that I say to the students is, particularly the female students, go in your bedroom, announce to your family, I'm going in the bedroom now. I'm going to be taking a test. I will not be available to you for 45 minutes. Do not knock on that door unless your face is in full-fledged flames. They laugh, but the seriousness of that is you need that downtime. You need that quiet time. Same way with investing in time in ourselves. Put the family on notice, because if you can't afford to go anywhere, go somewhere in the house. Mommy is going to go take a bubble bath right now. Daddy is in charge. Daddy, I will be out in 45 minutes. I'll be out in an hour. The jelly's in the same place. The socks are in the dryer right where you left them. And be okay and be free when you shut that door that your family's going to be okay. And they will be. They will be. Daddy won't make the sandwich the way you made the sandwich, but they got fed. Yeah. Daddy won't dust the table the way you dust the table, but it's dusted. And you need that downtime. If you need that time to get your vision board out and look at it, if you need that time to get your journal out, take the time.
And I think
they'll be okay.
And that's a very key point, and we as women have to understand that, learn it, and study it so that we can address it. So
and apply it.
And apply it, absolutely. As we are wrapping up for this evening, can you tell people how we can reach you, how we can contact you, how we can find your information?
Well, excuse me, I am on Facebook, and my name is spelled Trudy. My last name is Doleman, and that's exactly how it is on Facebook. I don't have any of these cutesy handles. If you want to email me, it's my last name, first initial, so that's Doleman, T as in Tom, at yahoo.com.
Okay, and again, that is Rejoice Wonderful Women. It's Wednesday, and it's available on Amazon.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, do you have any events coming up?
A nap? No,
All right, so we will send everyone to Amazon to purchase your book, and they can follow you on Facebook. That's Trudy Doman on Facebook, and you can also.
I'm also on LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn, okay. So Facebook and LinkedIn is Trudy Doman, and she's also her book is also on Amazon.com. That is Rejoice Wonderful Women. It's Wednesday. All right, Ms. Doman, I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming into the studio with us.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yes, we do.
You're
The
welcome.
conversation was very rich. We hope that our listeners enjoyed you on this evening. I'm sure if they have any questions, they will follow you on your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page. Have any questions for you, I'm sure they will find you there. We have you live on our platform page as well as our Facebook page. And if we get questions for you, we will send them to you as well.
I'd appreciate it. I'd love to hear feedback. I really would. If you get the book, I would love to hear feedback.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will do that. We do thank you from C and Dr. T. We do thank you for joining our show with Real Talk, Living Life Unbroken radio show this evening. Have yourself a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Be blessed.
Thank you. You as well.
So, hey, Coach, we're about to take a commercial break, and we'll be back for the next segment of Real Talk, Living Life Unbroken radio show.
Thank you.
Brother Bedford, nobody messes with the monkey when he's riding on the back of lions. So I want you to think about my profile. When people think of me with George Fraser, Les Brown, Dennis Kimber, what happened to my stats?
This is Brother Bedford, best-selling author, Black America's #1 direct marketing and business growth coach, consultant, and strategist. And I'm here at the Red Ink Conference with my dear friend, Tanita Johnson, and she is the bomb. I mean, she has a room full of individuals who are thirsty, who are hungry to write their books, publish their books, bring their ideas to life. And I mean, it's a packed room in here, so you should be here. So I'm saying to you, wherever the Red Ink Conference is, when it comes to your town, please make sure that you'll be there. Look up Tanita Johnson online, follow her on Facebook. This is the premier conference. I'm endorsing it myself, and I'm telling everyone if they want to write their book or they need an editor to help them with their work, please seek out Tanita Johnson and the Red Ink Conference.
For registration or more information, please visit theRedInkConference.com.
Welcome back, welcome back. Just tuning in, we just had author Trudy Dolman on our first half-hour segment. She was sharing about the book she
Enjoy Wonderful Women Wednesday.
Thank you. That's bad. And even with the title for women, it's also a great book for men too, because we all have similar things that we go through on a daily basis, and it's good to read something that can encourage us, motivate us to keep doing the work of the Lord, that is not in vain. What you do is never in vain. And she has some good, as I would say, some good nuggets. And so it's good to have nuggets, just from different perspectives. You keep hearing things from one perspective, you'll never grow. So it was good. We appreciate Dr. Trudy Dolman for participating in that call. And we have another excited guest that we will have, my wife will introduce shortly. I also just want to keep throwing my nuggets in as far as our love languages. I want to make sure everybody is growing in their relationships, understanding that putting your spouse first makes you happier. Don't put yourself first. If you want a happy house, put your spouse first.
Absolutely.
And men, put the lady first.
Happy wife.
Lord is a happy life. Happy house, happy everything. But we won't get. Yeah. So, Dr. T, you ready to read?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Alrighty, our next guest is Lee Jar Campbell, is an author of Faith-Based Dating Guide entitled The 24-Hour Rule, Determining Your Dating Partner's Marriage Potential in 30 Days. She is branding as a woman's work strategist who encourages women to live by a mantra: pretty, praise, and pushes purpose. I like that. She accepted Jesus Christ at an early age and is an active member of her church, serving as a youth ministry assistant. She also held a former position as a scholarship ministry leader at her church. Her passion for relationships, conversations led her to author the 24 Hours and host live streaming videos on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please help me welcome our guest for the next segment of our show, Miss Campbell. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming on the air. How are you today?
I am blessed. I am doing so great.
Good.
Overwhelmed by the responses.
I see that you are on fire and you have show after show after show.
I know it. I did not expect it, but I will say I didn't have any expectations, but I do feel like I was led to do this. And I was crazy enough to say, okay, Lord, whatever you want me to do. And so he's making sure I'm staying busy at this point.
That's the first mistake right there. Lord,
exactly. Why I had to open my mouth. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
So that I don't mess up your name, could you say your name for me, please?
D. The D actually stands for my first name, which is Delia, and then my middle name is Jeray. So I figured people may remember Jeray a little bit better than my first name.
Because if I had to introduce you, I would say D. Campbell. So,
Yeah, see, people do that. Yeah.
yeah, so, okay, Jeray, got you.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much. Please, 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 I would like for you to share with all of our listeners how you got the title of your book. I absolutely love the title.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, actually, I came up with the title based off of um, a relationship I had, or a person I was dating. And we would meet, and it would be for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours here and there. But within about 4 months, I was just talking to my girlfriend. I said, you know what? I haven't even seen this guy face to face 24 hours yet. And we've been so called dating for 4 months. And I said,
Wow.
you know what? I'm going to make up this little rule where you have to basically spend 24 hours with the person in 30 days. So that way you can kind of make a decision, or, make a little bit better decision as to who you're dealing with versus being on the phone and FaceTiming and doing all the things that are more acceptable for today. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just a short version of the story.
Okay. All right, and that makes sense because today's world, they have online dating. You can meet them at the
Hmm.
bus stop.
Yes. Yeah, you can meet one day, but then the rest of the time you're texting and, all of that. So it's like, no, let's spend some time together. And me and this guy, we lived maybe 20 minutes apart. Like, we could have easily, met up, but it took us 4 or 5 months to realize it was like, okay, no, this is not going to work. But I feel like it could have happened sooner, had we spent a little more time together.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So tell us about your journey with your book. Share with us your book.
You could share with the book as
Yes.
far as, well, I would say the book, it came about because I feel like being a woman, or now a woman that grew up in the church, we're always being told what not to do. So when it came to relationships, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I really didn't know how to entertain folks. But I later realized as an adult that I was doing everything that pretty much society said that was acceptable. Even my idea of love was, you know, was backwards. And so I thought that, if I had these certain feelings, and if I received certain gifts, that I was in love with this person, and I should expect some level of commitment from that. And so, like I said, in dating and, learning some of the patterns of the types of men I was dating, I felt like, okay, something has to happen for me to kind of break this cycle. But then I felt like after going through the process myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and publish this plan because I feel like it is something I, that the body of Christ could benefit from. And not just the body of Christ, but, other people in general. And
Right.
stop me when I start rambling, guys. But
No, that's right.
yes, but I've read so many relationship books. And I even read some of the stuff, and I was just like, no, nobody, you better not do that. And I used some of the examples in the book where the guy, most of the relationship books I've read were written by men, and the man said, you need to give this man the top notch, bedroom experience in order to keep him. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so untrue because it's just untrue. It just won't work. And just a lot of things that I read and I did not agree with. And I was like, okay, I need to just, at least contribute this to the world. Whatever happens with it, is no big deal, but I want to at least try to better our communities and better our mindsets and, of course, hopefully build a stronger type of bond rooted in Christ. So,
You said something very key in the beginning. When growing up in church,
mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you can grow up in church, but you don't get the fundamentals of life. You
Yep.
can get the you can get the fundamentals of church, but they won't show and show on how to love, how to court, how
Mm-hmm.
to do any of those things. But loving God, they got it hands down. But the basic fundamentals in life, some growing up, and I grew up in old school holy church, and
Well,
yeah, as far as church, we had that, but unfortunately, sometimes you didn't have those ones to show you life,
Yeah.
that's
and
right.
Yeah.
that's really important. Yes, Christ is at the head of it all, but at the end of the day, I still need to know how to be a man to this woman,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so those things are very important. And, and so, with your book, how has your response been from men?
Well, the men that they, I will say they have not given me a lot to go off of. I'm just getting, oh, it was really good. I liked it. So I honestly, I haven't gotten any detailed feedback from the men, but I will say surprisingly, I did not expect for a lot of men to, hear, especially when people I meet in person, for me to tell them what it's about, and they were interested in purchasing it and reading it. They were like, "Oh man, I need this for myself." So that is one of my big shockers because I didn't, I just didn't expect for them to have an interest, or maybe they just want to know what the game was about to happen with the game. Maybe.
What's the game plan?
That's funny.
Yeah, let me see what's about to happen to the game out here.
But in actuality, that's kind of twofold. For some, that could possibly be it, but for others, the knowledge of knowing the mindset of a woman where she's coming from, so
Mm-hmm.
that can prepare a foundation. Because if you know the knowledge of where they're coming from, then you can know how to present yourself. Because a lot of times, if you have people trying to uh, introduce each other, trying to figure each other out, unfortunately, there are masks being worn
Yeah.
to break that ice. And so, why not get the knowledge of like, okay, so instead of trying to do it this way, let me just read this, and okay, I understand where she's coming from, so I know how to present.
One of the things that I would say is that even going into relationships, if you have to ensure that, well, let me say it this way, you'll know that it's real when it's not based on physical, but it's based on
Mm-hmm.
actual conversation and dealing with one another.
Right.
Absolutely. Because I'm not the most talkative guy, but this lady here had me talking for 4.5 hours like the first week we met.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
said, wait a minute, how you get me talking like this?
He spilled all his beans.
See, you didn't even know all that was in you.
I didn't know.
But that's what I believe it should be like that. Like we shouldn't have to feel like it's work, like we're pulling teeth and
Right.
or it should just be natural. And I'm one of those people that still believes that, there is someone out there that can make me feel that way. And even for the men, I'm a woman, and of course, a lot of the conversations I have is with other women who, have had these horrible experiences, but the men go through, horrible experiences as well. And so I don't, overlook that. But I do believe that there is still someone out there that could give you those genuine goosebumps,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I promise you, when you're least expecting, it will come your way.
Mm-hmm.
For my husband and I was not looking for him. And I tried to even push him away because I was confused as to why he was in my face.
Okay. Like, sir, why are you in my face?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting him. I mean, it's just like whoop. I'm like, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it will be unexpected because I was doing what I knew the Lord would have me to do at that time. I wasn't looking, wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting him tell me what his plan was for me.
Wow, listen.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where the difference was. It's because I kept saying to God, okay, my kids are going off to college. I'm going to get me this apartment. I'm going to get a dog. You know, I'm good. This is what I'm going to
Wow.
do. You know, I'm in ministry. I'm good here. This is my plan, Lord. I had the apartment that I was going to be living in, just me and my dog. And I was
Wow.
good. And that's not what obviously, it's not what the Lord had planned for me.
Somebody say, "Fuck
Mhm.
God."
That's right, see, but God. I don't know about that but God situation. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, won't God do it when you don't even want him to do it?
And
No,
he
I'm sorry.
absolutely will.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, and that is the whole thing for your 24-hour rule. I mean, I absolutely love that title of that because when my husband came, I was like, look, I don't know you. You're not talking to me. I mean, he really had, we talked for what, months and months and
Mhm.
months, hours upon hours. I'm like, I don't know you.
Yes.
Yeah, it took him like 3 months to hold my hand.
But you know what? I don't blame you. You have to, you have to get to know the person. You do have to get to know the person. And I know that I will say with the title, everyone reads it and they think the 24 hours in a day. And I'm like, no, it's 24 hours within 30 days. But I can't remember if I said it earlier. The next rule, I guess, under that, or sub rule is that you spend at least 4 hours together each meeting. So that way you're early on sacrificing some time to actually get together. And then you're actually, of course, having a good time, talking, whatever the case is. But you're spending time together in order to see what's going on. And, of course, you're going to talk, on the phone and do all that other stuff as well. But you want to really know what's going on the inside of an individual.
You actually just addressed what I was about to ask as far as the 24 hours. But I was going to ask if there was in one day, but you just cleared it up. And I really believe that's a great rule to go by. If that works for you, you have a standard, and this is what your standard is going to be. So if they want to be with you, okay, they need to step up to that standard and be willing to understand where you're coming from.
And I say to you, kudos, because you put your standard out there. And so one of the things that I shared with my husband is that I appreciate him for the fact that he made me raise my bar. And whatever he does in my life or whatever he crazy think he want to do, he has my bar high, and he has to keep it there. And if he ever slacks, I remind him and tell him, you're the one who raised the bar, so you have to meet the bar.
Yeah, she reminds.
And if I don't drop it, because he is the one that reminded me who I am and why this bar is this high. So it's his responsibility to keep it there. So with your man, when your Boaz comes in, this is where your bar is set. Don't settle for anything less than where your bar is. Because you are the queen that's coming, and he's the king that's coming in. So he has to remain, or actually take you up higher than where your bar is already set.
That's right. That's right. And it's okay. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to somewhat change the subject, so I don't want to. Okay. Well, yeah, I was going to say, and it's okay to prepare yourself before you even get there. And that is something that I emphasize in the book as well. I talk about, we prepare ourselves in life to get a job, to have a specific career. We do all of this training and self-work. But when it comes to our relationship, if we're a person that wants to get married one day, I feel like we need to start preparing ourselves before we actually get there. So that way we understand our roles, we'll understand exactly, I know there's some things you can't prepare for until you get there, even in a job, for example. But at least okay, let me make sure that I'm, not spending every dime I make, or let me, pretend that, okay, it's somebody's birthday. Let me go ahead and put this $100 to the side, or let me, just different little things. Those are just things I'm just throwing out, but just different things that you can do to prepare yourself mentally for that time in your life, so that way everything don't have to be a struggle. Like, oh God, I have to put my underwear in the hamper. No, you should have been doing that. Prepare. Pretend now that you have a man in your house.
Yes.
We just heard a message similar to that. You can't expect someone to come and you not prepared for it. How you gonna say you want a man to come and you dating 3 right now?
Yeah.
You can't
see.
Watch out now.
So that preparation is very key, and that's how you have to look at it. I mean, yes, I am married now. But I don't want to say this because of the marriage don't have the mentality of it. You can't live without it. You be a whole person while you're looking to be married. Don't have it where my life is not complete unless I'm married.
Right.
And unfortunately,
live your
live
life.
your life. There's just a marvelous life to it. But like you said, in preparation, I'm preparing myself for my mate. But it's not going to have me sit still until my mate comes.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, because you could prepare as, and while you're in college, at least you could say, okay, I've gone through that training or I've gone through those steps, I've, sought wisdom from, some older women that are married or just other women that are married. And now I've done that. And so when he comes, I can say that, all right, this is how I can, I'm basically ready in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have any other books that are coming out?
There will be another book, a sequel, I guess it would be, to this one, because this one does more so emphasize the self-work that's needed. It doesn't really go into the dating aspect. It talks about a lot of things. My first chapter is Baby That Ain't Love, and then I talk about past relationships. I have another concept called Save and Sensual, basically talking about how to not conceal your sexuality while you're dating, but actually, be, control yourself, but don't be so saved that, you're asexual, so, but it's basically unleashing that sensuality, paying attention to the way you feel, your skin looks smooth, the way you smell, your hair, just all of those senses that can be basically heightened so that the other person can see those things that are in you.
Absolutely.
But and so the next one is going to go a little bit more in depth as far as the what to do's and the do's and don'ts. This one's not, so much of the do's and don'ts.
Is that book still in the making, or is it?
Oh, it's in the making. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not coming out. I probably will finish that. My goal would be the end of the year again. Kind of give myself some time to get this one, promoted, and then bust out with the new one.
Okay, good. Well, that sounds great. And so, tell us where you are. I know that you were on a few shows, and that you're going to be traveling around the world. I see where you're going. Share that with us, and share with us where our listeners can reach or get your current book and how we can follow you.
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook. You can search my name, the letter D, and then Jare, last name Campbell, Campbell. and then I pop up with my white shirt on and makeup done, all of that. And so, and then on Instagram, it's the same thing, Deidre Ray Campbell, spelled all the way out. And then my email, if someone wants that, is the number 24, the letter H, the letter R, another R, ULE @gmail.com. And then I'm on YouTube. The YouTube channel is The 24-Hour Rule. There I post my weekly Work It Wednesday videos. And so I talk about various relationship topics there. And that was surprisingly very engaging. People have been enjoying those because I kind of talk about the things that, people don't want to talk about sometimes. And and then my next event is at Rhema Word in Columbia, South Carolina. It is going to be for their multicultural and diverse dating stigmas and stereotypes talk. And so I'll be one of the panelists there. That's March 22nd. And then the end of this month, March 28th and 29th, I'll be at the Moore Conference, and that is in West Tennessee. So here I am, a little South Carolina girl, about to travel. And my book was just released mid-January. So
that's done.
Again, I opened my mouth and said, Lord, okay, wherever you want me to go. And but I don't mind it at all. I'm very extremely humble, and I just, I really want to see everyone have great things to say about marriage, because there's, the negativity is way louder than the positivity. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Well, we do appreciate you taking out your time to come on our show, and please understand this will not be your last time coming on the show with us. We just want you to come back to visit us and to share some things with us, and we want the people to follow you on Facebook, on Instagram, on Periscope, so that they can get the know with the 24-hour rule.
Yes. Oh, I didn't say that it's available on Amazon, guys.
Great.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon.
24-hour rule is on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is the 24-hour rule. Is that correct?
Yes, the THE. The white cover with an hourglass and pink hourglass band with a diamond ring on the inside. Can't miss it.
Right.
Yes. That diamond ring gonna catch your eye now.
All right, I love it. All right, well, we have enjoyed our time together. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You have yourself a good.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes. What an awesome show this evening. This has really been good. Dr. T, has it been good?
Yes, and fabulous. I have enjoyed both of these authors for the evening. Such great dialogue. I'm loving it.
Yes. And so with that, we want to continue with sharing love, sharing happiness, sharing nuggets that can help in any way anyone's relationship, marriage, all of those things. We started off with our 5 love languages, and I'm just going back just a little bit real fast. We started with words of affirmation. I hope that's been helping people in their love language. Then our one left is quality time. Coming up, we still have 3 more love languages. Stay tuned. We have receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Tune in next week. We're going to continue on with those 5 love languages to enhance your love language, your love life, and to have everyone in your house smile. Because a smile is a beautiful thing. Isn't that right, Dr. T?
It's absolutely fabulous. Yes, it is. Next week, we're going to have one love language along with yes. So stay tuned for next week's show. Thank you so much.
This is Real Talk.
Living Life Unbroken radio show. Our message is to empower marriages with
Kingdom principles.
Thank you. Good evening.
Take care.